like, and subscribe. But let me make one thing perfectly clear before I start. Black people, African Americans, Africans, Hebrew Israelites, I love you. Make sure you get this clear. I love my people. Now let's begin. My people, we are not failures. We have lost battles, but we have not lost the war. We are successful, not as successful as we want to be or we should be, because we had Black Wall Street and 140 black banks, and they were bombed and destroyed and looted. You see, we did not fail. See, you need an excuse for when you fail, but we did not fail. All our efforts to succeed have been destroyed. We did not fail. And we have a legitimate excuse for being in the economic position that we are in. And that economic position that put us in this situation is, as I said, the destruction of our economic base, Black Wall Street and 140 black banks, and our cities and towns. That is a legitimate excuse for being in the situation that we are in. But the situation that we are in is not one of failure. We have not failed. So we don't need an excuse, because there is nothing to be excused on our part, because we are still here and surviving against tremendous odds. Understand that we are survivors, not failures. You don't start off in a country as a slave, being eaten, whipped, beaten, raped, and anything else Satan can do to us, and still be here today and be a failure. Don't get it twisted. You see, satanic people want us to believe that we are failures, and then when we blame them for the things that they have done to us, they want to say, don't make excuses. Excuses are in the past. Pick yourself up and blase this, blase that. But every time we pick ourselves up, they shift the ground from underneath us. And we fall, but we get back up. We are not failures. We do not need excuses for being a failure. We should be applauding ourselves for not being deleted and still being here. And even though Obama was a puppet president, we still had a black president that is successful. Even though we have black puppets who has a hand up underneath manipulating everything they do, it was still necessary to get black puppets to deceive us, because we are hard to deceive. That is not what a failure does. See, when you have to pull out all the strings you have to manipulate people, they are not failures. They are good at what they do. And you have to enlist them to defeat themselves because you couldn't do it by yourself. We are not failures. We don't need excuses. We have nothing to blame ourselves for. If you are running a 100-yard dash and the person in front of you has a smooth surface to run on, and your surface have bricks, sticks, and whatever in your lane, and when the person says go, you can't win. You are not a failure. You have a legitimate excuse for not winning. Don't confuse sitting on your butt and doing nothing with competing when the odds are against you. And guess what? Even when that is the case, we still manage to win in most instances. We still manage to win in most instances. We are not a failure. We do not need excuses. There are reasons and causes for why we are in the situation that we are in, and it is not our fault. It is not our fault. If you are playing a game and the referees who are supposed to control the game are making bad calls against you, you make a touchdown, they call a penalty that does not exist, you did not lose. The person who think they won did not win. They cheated. They cheated. Cheating is not winning. It is cheating. It is a lie. You see, the bombing of Black Wall Street, the destruction of black banks, systemic racism, gentrification, setting up illegal voting zone so as to weaken the black vote does not make us failures. Does not make us failures, and it does not make us losers when our opposition cheats. We didn't lose. They cheated. Now, an excuse, they have an excuse for cheating. They have an excuse for cheating because cheating is something they done. And they cheated because we are superior. So they have an excuse for cheating. But see, we didn't lose. We won, but we were cheated. So once cheating comes into it, the game is over. There is no competition when you are being cheated. There is no competition when you are being cheated. There is no game unless the rules are fair. See, you can't lose if the rules aren't fair. You can only be cheated. And then you have to ask the person, why did you cheat to win? Now, because I couldn't beat you fairly. That is an excuse, because that is the reality of the situation. That is the reality of the situation. Understand this, people, my people. You have to have a philosophical mind to break down what the false narratives that we are being fed. You have to have a philosophical mind to break down the false narrative that they are feeding us. We are not losers. We cannot be losers if you are lying about your history and pretending like my history is your history. We can't be losers when people are trying to be like Mike. And all of us are Mike. That's the reality of the situation. To extend the conversation a little further, let me say this. The reason why we have searched for our religion for decades is because it has been sitting right underneath our nose. You see, we are spiritual people. Our religion is philosophy. It is philosophy. It is the philosophy that Greeks stole from Kemet, whose name was changed to Egypt. We were Kemetians. You see, we were never Egyptians. We were Kemetians. We were Sumerians. We were Nubians, people of color. Egypt became Egypt after Rome and Greece invaded and took all our religious books out of the library and then and transported them to Greece, and then and then they renamed our library to the Library of Alexandria. See, those were our religious books. We are philosophers by nature, and to regain our spirituality, we will have to think like philosophers. We can't look at the waves on the top. We have to think like philosophers and go underneath. Check out the current, what's going on. And we have the mental ability to do that. But they try to deceive us and tell us that we are stupid. We are the missing links, the missing link. But the reality is Neanderthals are the missing link. Caucasians are 9% Neanderthal. We are 100% Homo sapiens. Understand this. Our ability to reason surpasses them. They have a 6th level DNA series functioning in their brains. Our DNA level is 9. We are 50% smarter than they are. Look for the facts. Black people, my people, Hebrew Israelites, we are God's chosen people. There is a reason why we are the fastest runners in the world. There is a reason why we were able to build this country. There is a reason why People all over the world will tell you that we have the best bodies. There is a reason why our skin soaks up the radiant energy from the sun. There is a reason why our hair is sturdy. Our hair is sturdy, not kinky, and it can be managed in a multitude of ways that other people's hair can't do. You can put those box braids in our hair, and our hair is sturdy enough to carry the weight of those heavy braids because our hair is sturdy. Our hair grows out. It doesn't lay flat because it is sturdy. And the reason is because we are God's chosen people. We don't need excuses. We have reasons why we have been defeated in some instances, but we have never lost the war, and it is impossible for us to lose a war because we are God's chosen people. And as you know, if you are God's chosen people, you can't be inferior. You have to be superior. Now show me a Israeli who has ever won the 100-yard dash, or who has ever won the high jump, or has ever been the strongest man in the world, the heavyweight champion of the world, anything of merit. See, one other thing, when we talk about our economic position, let's bring up the word patent. Patent, which is legal thievery. We invented the computer. We invented the app for Uber. We invented the light bulb. We invented the telephone. We invented everything worthy of being invented. Like and subscribe, my people. I love you. We are one. God bless us all, including the Neanderthals.